Hello everyone. Okay, get started.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
Or you want a 2 minutes break quickly?
we can start.
I see some people settling in there, so we'll just give some time.
Am I audible good?
So the magic of AI topic is so such, we got people divided across. So many of them moved from this track to the other tracks. But we can still see that some of you are still interested to understand more about being agile, how to be more centered towards some theories, right? So let's get started now. So a quick introduction. First of all, I think we just wanted to thank APGI and the partners and the sponsors for giving us an opportunity here. So we are super excited to be here. For the next 45 minutes, we will try to give some packed stuff. And yeah, I am an agile practitioner. I've been having an experience of 20 plus years by now. It's a varied experience, not so good but what keeps me ticking at work? Just to see to that happy customers, right? Happy customers delivering business outcomes, maximizing the ROI. So all these three are the three tenets for me when I keep going at work. Over to you, Sheeba, for your introduction.
Thank you, Prem. Hello everyone, we are really excited to be here in Pune. This is our first time here, we are from Chennai. I'm Sheeba John, I'm Principal Agilist in Cognizant with over 22 plus years of IT experience. Currently I'm an Agile coach for a transformation engagement and I'm really passionate about training and coaching. Okay, so with that, before we move on, let's start with a quote by Bill Gates. It says that success in today's world needs reinvention, reinvigoration, reaction, everything, right? So that's why we thought of this topic, which is really about how to bring in agility in today's fast-changing world. Let's start with a coffee story, because I know after this you'll have a coffee break. Before that, let's recharge ourselves with a coffee story. This is a story about Nestle. Nestle, everyone knows Nestle, and this was around the 1980s. Okay, so Nestle was the leading food giant, right, during those times. So they thought, okay, why not we enter into the coffee business also? And then they thought, okay, it's simple, right? Just produce coffee and then introduce into the large businesses, large companies. But what happened? It didn't succeed. Okay, they placed the big coffee machines in big companies, but that didn't work. Okay, people were very hesitant to use it. So what they did, they didn't give up. What they did, they hired a consultant and saw, okay, what could be improved. And the consultant said, okay, first thing is that you should not approach big businesses because coffee starts from homes, right? People at home, they start drinking coffee. So approach the homes, and the vision should not be to become the #1 coffee maker. You need to make this a lifestyle brand. Okay, it's not about just the commodity, it's about the branding. It's about the lifestyle, it's about the experience that customers get when they buy espresso coffee. So they then started selling, and then they started making profits. But that profit did not come just by this coffee machine. Coffee machines were sold at a very low price. But what happened? They started selling the coffee capsules also. That gave them the recurring revenue. Okay. So through this, what Nestle actually tried was, instead of coffee being just a commodity, they changed it to an experience. So when people say, okay, I have an espresso machine or Nespresso at home, or I drank Nespresso coffee, it's like a brand, it's a lifestyle brand, luxurious brand that got converted. Okay, so just wanted to start with that, and this is called a razor to razor blade model because it's not really the razor that gives profit, it's the razor blade which provides recurring income, right? That's the approach that they follow. Okay, now you can take it forward.
How many of us know this person? Pretty much everyone. So yeah, he said few decades back, if I'm not wrong, he said you cannot predict the future. We are going to touch back on the business agility concept of it. So when he says you cannot predict the future, you take it on face, right? He has done all the experiments. He's a British scientist, always give that special treatment also. So we know that we cannot predict future, and we also know that we are in a chaotic world, right? Undeniably. So chaoticism is there. We have been talking about VUCA world a few years back. We have successfully got upgraded to Barney world, right? I hope everyone know these terms. I'm not sounding different here. So we are just kind of getting into more chaoticism as we go on. So we need to see how to be agile about dealing with this kind of a very confused world, how to battle around it, come through successfully. And that is where it all starts with being personally agile, right? Just to relate to a very simple example, what is happening out in the stock markets? How many of us are investing in stock markets? Equity, mutual funds. You have to be agile personally, right? There's no other choice. You cannot say, okay, let it go down, let the stock market go down. You cannot say that. You take sufficient actions to see how can I change that. So at a personal level, you are agile about it. The same applies for the businesses also. They have to also be agile about it. There are so many things happening in the market. So this is about business agility. I was just trying to see what business agility means to Scrumalize, one of our sponsors. Their definition is very simple. It is a collective ability to respond and adapt. They finished it. It is all about a collective responsibility. It is not about just one department operating in silos and you expect the business to kind of come through properly. It's not going to happen. It's a collective ability. So, and this is what is going to happen. Like, this is a quick recap, pretty much most of you know, but just to kind of put it in perspective. When you are going to deliver a product or a service, there's a life cycle to it, right? And the life cycle has many people. So it starts with a company goal. They have a vision. There's a lot of people sit and then decide what needs to be done. And then they do market research and they decide, okay, this is how I'm going to operate. This is what I'm going to do about what I need to give to my end customer. So you kind of decided, right? And then you get a bunch of good talented people, do whatever in terms of Scrum, Safe, Less, whatever. We have got enough frameworks to deal with. So what we do is like we do the discovery and then give it to the execution team in terms of doing the development. We have the best people who are going to do all this development and then give you the product intent. Of course, you are not going to directly release it to the market. You have your own customers who are going to see whether the product is going to ensure that it works for the market, right? Because ultimately what you are going to do is give it to the market. So you need to ensure that it is fit to the market. So you get the customers to give you the feedback. See if you want to work out any of the last niggling issues. You want to fix it. You want to get a better product. It's all about getting the right. So while they are saying like product, you can also use it as service. It can be either a product or a service what you are going to do. So at the end of it, you do all testing, whatever you call, right? You say performance testing, load testing, regression testing. You do all sorts of testing. And then you get the marketing team again, and then you do the market release of the product. Some of the background teams which we are going to see are going to work here is the finance team, the admin team, the ops team. There are so many teams included. And these teams alone cannot get the product out. So that is why when we say business agility, it is a collective responsibility to everyone to come in and then adapt to whatever market changes which comes in and see whether you develop. To simply put it, when you are at war, when you are going for a war, everyone is expected to contribute, right? It is not like, okay, the elephant team alone goes and then goes and gets the capture. It's not going to happen like that. So it is a collective ability for everyone to work in an agile manner, and that is how you get the business to succeed. So that's a quick recap. I think we have established the fact that it is more chaotic world and you need to be more agile. You have to be responding and adapting to the changing needs. And that is the layer what we are trying to start put here and then go on.
Okay, thank you, Fred. So before we move on, we wanted to show you some popular brands and then get your views on some of the key features of those brands which attracts you. Okay, all are known brands. Meesho. Meesho has a very specific business model, right? They are not selling by themselves, they allow the direct sales from the retailers, right? So, how many of you have used Meesho? Okay, so what is that one feature that attracts you to Meesho? Pricing. Okay. Anything else? Of course.
Small businesses.
Small businesses, right?
I think good variety as well. There are good variations.
Yeah, variety. So it's the comparison, when you compare with other online or e-commerce platforms, you are seeing some difference in Meesho, right? That's why you're going for that. Paperboard?
Taste.
Variety.
Easy to do.
Style.
Accidentally purchased.
Brings back to childhood memories.
Okay, yeah. Anybody else? Anything else?
Variety of flavors.
Packaging, yeah.
Variety of flavors.
Variety, yeah. So it's very simple and we feel, okay, we can just hold it and just have it, right? Ola? Ola, Uber, yeah, any of those. Most of us would have used it to come here today as well, right? So, no need to tell the pictures for that. WhatsApp. That's like the most frequently used app for us, right? Can you name some couple of features of WhatsApp? Not the prominent ones, something unique.
Video call.
Tagging the customers, following up, automation, marketing.
Okay. Yeah, I like the simple features of WhatsApp. Like recently they said you can have transcript for your voice messages. Anybody tried that? You can enable it in the settings and then it's really good, right? Because when we are in a gathering or somewhere, we won't be able to listen to voice messages. So at that time, transcription really helps. Yeah, but for now it's only for English, but maybe it will come soon. Okay, so yeah, these are some brands, and for every brand or any product that is released to market, there will be something unique about it, right? And these all, surely they all have some business agility. That's why before going into our topic, we thought we'd bring this into perspective. Now, today's topic is the dilemma, right? What is the dilemma? To be or not to be, like how Shakespeare was mentioning in Hamlet. Whether to go with product centricity or customer centricity. This is a discussion that I often hear when we go for coaching, especially in leadership and product management and all. They usually get confused, okay, what should we go with, which strategy should we follow, right? So that's why we thought we'd take this topic. And we are doing this today in a different way. We are kind of trying to have a debate with Prem being the engineering director role, and I would be playing the business sponsor role, and we would be taking two sides, one on product centricity and another on customer centricity. Okay? But we would need your help because we are going into IPL season. We need cheer groups for both. Okay? So this side probably you can be with me on customer centricity, and that side can be with Prem on product centricity. Okay, so please do cheer if you hear any good points. You can even go. Okay, if you don't like any points. I'm in the opposite side. Okay. Okay. So, we'll start Prem?
Yes, we can. So, pretty much we know what product centricity is about, right? A man who always thinks that product is the first thing to what needs to be done. So, yeah. I'm just going to go meet her in a small discussion. So the discussion goes like this. Hey Sheeba, we have already decided the product roadmap. It's a killer roadmap. It has all the great features what we want as a product. We are going to go with the flow. We have enough money in the pockets. I've got all the approvals from the management, from the board. We have the list ready. We have enough money to innovate, which is more important. And you know, right? Some of the top innovators I have put more like two companies here. One to show that Apple had been a vision in terms of getting the innovation aspect of it more. So Apple had iPhone and Tata Motors, an Indian company, has been doing very good with different car variants. And it has been a great revolution in terms of getting all these things only through product-centric mindset, Sheeba.
Okay. Woohoo!
Yes.
See, if you go with product centricity, just an example, okay? You see, the parents like that, the cradle hanger, the baby wants to play. But what
Yeah, it's a fantastic
see?
product, right?
What does the baby see?
I don't know.
So, we are in an era, it's a golden era of customers. How can we forget the customers, right? Customers are front and center in any organizational decision. And you see, Amazon, you know how they work? They are very obsessive about customers, right? So it's about the product adoption thing. Thanks for your roadmap. I know it has awesome features. But then we have to consider customers and how they adopt the product, right? It's not about product ownership.
No, you are too obsessed about customers, right? It is not about being customer obsessed. It is being about competition obsessive, right? See, I am ready to give some good products. Customers don't know the technology part. They don't get it fully. Remember? See, it's like what Henry Ford said, right? If I would have gone and asked the customers, they would have said, I want to build a faster horse. But what did he build then? We know everything is there. So, it's not going to help the complete vision, Sheeba. Customer centricity is not going to work great. Of course, I have some examples to quote. See, a product like a safety pin, which is not kind of really valued more and spoken about, but I personally feel safety pin is one of the greatest inventions. It has stood till date. Do you agree? Yes. Check the Xerox machine. We give it a damn about it, but every school, every office, everything has it. Technological innovation in place. It completely disrupted the market, right? So I can just go on and on about all the great inventions. Get the bite juice. I get it. I'm just being more specific about the product centricity aspect of it. Don't give me a move for that. Good to have a healthy.
Yeah, we agree. Okay, technology has to be there. But just like that, following innovation for the sake of innovation is pointless. Okay, it has to be used by the customer. And it's not the speed in which you do things, it has to be the direction also. So first understand the pain points of the customer, what they need really, and then go ahead. You know about Google Glass, right? How it failed. Technologically it was really good, people can just stop wearing it, but then it's not possible. They didn't consider social causes of that, how people will take it. So it's not about really the short-term sales target, it should be a long-term customer base. And of course, you said about iPhone. iPhone is because they already have a really loyal customer base, correct? But if we have to build a customer base, it should be long-lasting. We have to first build the trust, right? Only then we can proceed with it.
Very small crowd, huh? I will not get it.
You got one goose.
I just got only one.
I didn't get goose.
Okay, so I'm still kind of going back to the same point in terms of technology and innovation. And we can see that we have got new things. We have been speaking from the morning till now about AI, automations, changing the lifestyle, changing everybody, and also scaring everybody. At least I have been scared after all the AI sessions which has happened till now. Will I be still relevant after 1 year? I don't know. But see, that is why we are trying to take the software engineering, right? We want to give the product centricity with all the latest AI and automation stuff. So please see to that. This is something which is going to be helpful. Customers may not think 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line what is there. But we as a product-centered team, we want to see to that we give them all the features so that it is going to help them in the long run. So that is what we are saying about envision the future, right? When Tesla came in, everybody was very skeptical about electric vehicles, right? But we are now enjoying it. So it's still good in terms of getting all these things in place.
Yeah. So what we are trying to say is...
What is this? What is this? What is this? You can't be again bringing this.
See, it's not that... I'm not
gave
saying...
any money to this person. He's supporting you.
Thank you. See, we are not saying that we don't need AI or we don't need automations and all. It's just that we always need human connections. So even in the other sessions you would have heard, human in the loop is really needed. So it should really be a blend of both. You heard about Zomato and Swiggy and we all know how it works. So they started as a basic delivery app, food delivery apps, but now you see how it has grown. So they take customer feedback regularly, but not right. They also think proactively about future and see how they can build roadmaps and how they can serve customers better. So it's more of outcome-based selling. Okay, so
Sorry, what
yeah,
is it?
he has to.
Sorry, I didn't pick that. Can you please repeat for me?
You were also nodding, it seems, when I was telling. Yeah.
So, okay, so let's see what is, I was telling, right, it is for the collective goodness, right? It is not about me taking a side and you taking a side. And the end of it, we do have the pockets filled in terms of the salary, but not getting the right product. Let's come to a conclusion here.
Yeah.
Let's not fight about it.
Yeah, so we have come to a conclusion or a consensus that it has to be a blend, okay? So it's not either or, it should be and both, okay? So based on some of the parameters, we have to decide which one we have to go with. So we need a strong product vision. At the same time, we need deep customer understanding and also a culture of innovation. Together, all of this brings in business agility with value. Okay, so value centricity is really important. And for that, and it's about building the right product for the right market, right? It's not just building some products. And this is a great book to start. Start with The Why by Simon Sinek. I would advise you all to read it because the why part is very important. Whatever decision you want to make in product management or in the industry, always start with the why. And in his golden circle, he talks about why, how, and what. So why is the purpose, and what are the actions you take for that, and what is the outcome or the result. So once you have these three items, right, then it will help you to take a decision. And this is a decision framework which we have come.
Yeah, now that we both are in agreement, we have come to a consensus. So we just wanted to explain this, right? So when you are going to either be a customer-centric or a product-centric mindset, ultimately who is going to be benefited, right? So the customer should be benefited. So he needs to draw the value of it. So we have to look at it from that perspective instead of just chipping or taking insights. So when we go to see in terms of value centricity, what gives us that? So it's a balance of both, right? So you need to have the trust and partnership and also the customer satisfaction, customer needs. Solving the pain points is the first important thing. So if you go from the bottom, it is all taken care like that. Do you want to say about product now that we have kind of come into an agreement?
Yeah, of course. So it's not just we are going to follow all the whims and fancies of the customers, right? We have to also check the quality, the profitability of the organization, the goals of the organization or goals of the product. And it's a balance of both. Finally, what matters is value, right?
So yeah, how do you want your child to be raised? With good values And that is what it is all about. So again, it is not like one side of the parenting, right? Both the parents see to that they give the child their best, not in terms of just money or any other aspects, right? They have to carry the values of what both the parents think. So we want to ensure that it is still going to be as a family. While you are going to be running a business, you will have to be also worried or like kind of thinking about different scenarios, how to ensure that you protect the value, right? Value aspect is more important from a customer standpoint. It is something like how you raise your kid. You see to that the values are more importantly given so that the legacy continues. So value centricity is again more important while we have been discussing about those two other aspects of it.
Yeah, thanks Prem for summarizing. So we just wanted to summarize by saying that the paradigms of the past will not define our future. So please embrace the change. So that's what we have been hearing from the morning, right? Whether it's AI or any other change that comes in. So embrace the change with a culture of innovation and welcome the feedback to bring in sustainability and business agility in the current ever-changing world. So, thank you. Happy to take any questions if you have.
I think we had been on time. Yeah, we have 10 more minutes for any questions.
Or any experience which you want to share on this topic?
So no question particularly. I think it was a brilliant session. I think of all the sessions, it was like the most energetic and interactive and engaging one. So what I've understood basically is your product from the start need not have everything with respect to maybe being it customer centric or a product centric, but it should always emphasize on what is right at this time.
That time.
I mean, year by year, requirements may change.
Correct.
Perspective of the product may change.
Yeah.
Like I believe Apple, the mobile, like it's a superior product, but I still feel that it has some gaps, which they might not have thought of on customers' perspective. Like they have a monopoly, they'll have a different charging socket or something. I know that they're improving with time now.
Yeah.
So the best of the product does not necessarily mean that it's always right for the customer as well.
Yeah.
And I think in your presentation also it was like quite evident. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, very innovative way of presenting your thoughts. So excellent.
Thank you.
Loved it. Yeah, again, it's not a question, just an observation, from our side, from my side. So you talked about product, right? So product is a vehicle which carries value. So there cannot be a product without a value associated.
Yes.
When it is an innovative product, you basically think about a hypothetical value that you feel will be given, and it will go through the process.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So it is never about, so I don't think it is even feasible, right, to, basically categorize product and value in two different buckets, because
True.
they are, just the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It is how, if it is based on the nature of the product, it will go. So, but otherwise, loved it. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So it's all about how you conceive a product, right? You have all the musicians, they kind of create everything in their head. And when it gets translated as a music, it flows into your ears, gives you that energy, right? So it's all about rightly conceiving it. And why did I bring the music aspect of it? I love Ilayaraja, this famous musician in South India. He has been a great inspiration. At 82, he is still going and making a symphony. It's like kind of unimaginable. It is like the complex mathematical calculations what you can do. And he is doing at the age of 82. We still have a long way to go. I think AI is not going to make a great impact on our lives if we can make our creative process always there. That's what I think at least. So I'm not really that much scared about it. If he can give his energy at the age of 82 and he says, I've just started. Come on, yeah. You are at 82 already. You are saying that you just started. He has been a tough guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
The value is always important.
So I just want to confirm that we won, right?
Yeah, it's a blend.
Yeah.
It's a blend. We
Yeah.
came to a consensus.
Yeah, but on this topic, I mean, as you rightly said, it's a balance. But in our world, in the real world, the customer is always a king, right? There is a saying, right? So even though they are building a shitty product, usually we embrace and we just build whatever they say, right? But how effective is your product management? That are you able to convince really to the customer that no, this is not the path? I mean, I don't see many real world examples where the product management, they are really make it upside down that no, this is not the way, correct way, even though you think, right? The customer thinks, but maybe the product management can be a, better leader,
Yeah.
keeping the customer centricity, obviously, but, turn the tide against the customer. That okay, no, looking at the current scenario, this is not the way to go. Let's do this. But I mean, I have not heard. If somebody has, please share that example. But I have not seen that much.
Yeah.
Hello? See, it's very easy and nice to say that customer is king or queen or whatever, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But then if
That's
you
why
take
the
it
debate
too
happens.
literally, if you take customer feedback too literally, listen to every customer and do whatever he says,
Exactly.
ultimately you'll get in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Procter and Gamble, one business case today I read was about toothpaste. Okay, they ended up creating so many variations. It
Exactly.
became unwieldy. They could not manage it. Their customer service dropped, and ultimately they had unhappy customers. So they actually and ruthlessly cut down on the number of products, and that is how they became efficient, and that is how customers became happier again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So-
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah.
Now
Yes.
one more.
Yeah, can you
example.
please pass the mic there?
One more example to share for product management where I think they change the habits. I think we have all heard about Kellogg's, in breakfast, and Maggie, right? I don't know if you all recollect, 20 years before, it was sold in front of schools, given free of cost, just to try it out, right? And from that time, now we are so habituated, for Kellogg's and Maggie, we all know, right? The kind of product and branding it happens. So, given the right product management and strategy, customers can be, influenced to adopt things. So it is not just Geo,
Yeah.
right, free of cost.
Every product,
So
if you
it
see,
is the
is-
product management
yeah.
that drives the product.
It starts with some perks or discounts, and then we get habituated to that, right? Yeah.
I think we are also learning. Now that I think the debate has really started within the groups. So that was the outcome what we wanted, right?
Yeah.
We want that learning to happen. We are also learning some of the examples of what he quoted. So it was a good learning. Yeah. Please go
To
on.
be honest, it was so good. Like the blend between the product centricity and the customer centricity. And I'm so happy that you are coming from Chennai and doing this year. It was so good and kalakitinga.
Thank you, thank you,
you,
thank you,
thank
thank you for
you.
the feedback.
I just recollected on the last lines that you said, the age of 82, we still can do it. We should not be bothered about like AI can take
Exactly,
things
yeah.
from us. So on the same lines, I just wanted to add that AI should be an add-on tool for us to use,
Yes.
not a base.
Yes.
Like, right, if I remember the days when probably all of us or most of us have started as software engineers, we used to do the coding in Notepad.
Yeah.
We did not directly jump into the
Visual
other
Basic,
IDEs, right?
IDE, yeah.
So if today's generation is starting with this AI, I hope their skill set do not get degraded because
Yeah.
of, so it should be an add-on, not at the baseline to start with.
Very true.
Yeah.
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 Great presentation and great engagement. I just have one question. You
Yes.
mentioned about the balance between two values,
Exactly.
and that's an idealistic situation, but at the same time, there will be some sway happening to one or other way.
See,
So-
that is going to
Yeah,
happen.
that's why we kept value.
Yeah.
My question is like how we want to bring back that balance
Yeah.
when the
On
sway.
the family side of things, or
There is no
there's
balance
straight
on
answer
family
for it,
side.
right? There is no straight answer for it.
No, that's why we gave the parameters, right? So, depending on, like he said earlier, right? Depending on the situation at that time, what is more important for you? Is profitability more important or building a customer base is important? So depending on that, you can take a call.
It's all about how you follow your own history and not get influenced with some other things, right? So that is more important. We have been great about how Indians have been, but we have been influenced by few other things. I don't want to say it explicitly, everyone knows about it. So that is what is going to be very core for how you preserve the value, right? And then give the value to the next generations. The legacy goes on. So yeah, that is how it should be preserved. And we are not doing that properly now. We'll have to get back to the normal ways and live a normal life. That is more important. Live a normal life and things will fall in place.
That's so difficult.
You will have to find a way for it because it is going to be a better future, better value. So again, the question is, maybe we are diverting off the topic. What do you want to give to your next generation? A good valued place or just a place?
Yeah, thank you.
Excuse me? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Here.
Yeah.
Exactly. Comes with a lot of risk, comes with a very big set of risks. Somebody was taking a session some time back. I don't know, we attended too many sessions, right? Yeah, my friend was saying, what does okay mean to you? I said like, yeah, okay, fine. Okay, so what? I said like, few people when they say okay, it is actually not okay. I hope I don't want to explicitly say that. So okay is not okay.
Yeah.
So it's also about cultural agility, as my friend said.
Yeah. I think when you're talking about business agility, you
Sorry.
need here.
Yeah.
If you're talking about business agility, along with product and customer, we need to talk about the business also. That's the third angle because the gentleman in the front, he said, right, like Procter and Gamble, they listened to their customer, started creating too many variants, and then customer service dropped, right? You have to always look at where are you going to generate the money from, what are the constraints of your business organization within which you will generate that money. Because along with feasibility, which comes from the product, and then you have desirability, which comes from the customer, you also need to think about viability, which comes from the business. So you need to have three angles, not just product and customer, you also need to have business. All the three together are the key ingredients for business agility.
Very true, yeah, very true. Yeah. It's just that we were trying to use business agility at a very top level because that is what is going to give you the product and the customer centricity. That is how we divided it. But yes, your point is kind of pretty valid. And we don't need to go till business agility also. We can just go past in history. If your grandparents, they would have had 7 kids, 8 kids, come next, 4 kids, 3 kids, now 2, 1 itself is a challenge. 1 itself is a challenge. So we have been agile about everything in life. It is not only at business, right? At the end of it, we are the difficult creatures to live, right? As a human being, we are the toughest creatures, but we are able to adapt, agile. So I think we should be able to go on with it. We don't need to be really negative about anything. We are positive.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Please do give us with your feedback. Any improvements, please do let us know. It will be helpful for us.
Okay. Thank you all so much for
thank you all for your time. We'll be around if there are anything we can talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this insightful session on the business agility. With your session, we got clear ideas like how bigger organizations and brands juggle with these priorities on real time, and how we can do on same with our organization. So it was really insightful. Thank you for this session. So. Now I will request Prasanna to felicitate Prem and Sheeba. Everyone, please big round of applause for them for their great session.
I think it was a very great session, guys. I think based on the feedback which I have heard from all of you, I think it is really a good session, what I can say. After this, I think we have a tea break, and also we have a hackathon session which is going on. That means you have to go to their desk and try to understand those problem statement and vote whichever idea you like for them. Okay. Is there any other announcement we have to do? Okay, and after the hackathon, again, you have to come back to the main hall for the closing note for today. Thank you.